Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to do something honestly incredibly powerful. We're taking 15 of the most common nagging health issues, things like persistent fatigue, tension headaches, and brain fog, and we aren't just looking at them in isolation. Instead, we are turning these 15 fixes into one seamless, high-performance morning routine. We are going to systemize our health to completely reclaim your day.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, wake up and hydrate. Second, the high-performance bathroom. Third, fueling for high performance. Fourth, morning movement and posture. And finally, protecting your energy pipeline.
All right, section 1, wake up and hydrate. This is all about fixing fatigue, headaches, and eye bags before 7:05 a.m. The reality is, how we handle those crucial first few minutes dictates our baseline energy for the entire day. Let's move to our master timeline and see exactly how this builds. We're starting right at 7 a.m. with hydrate and light, moving into the bathroom at 7:15, feeling our bodies at 7:30, and aligning our physical structure at 8 a.m. The clock strikes 7 a.m. Now, a low-performance wake-up is jarring and totally counterproductive. It's hitting snooze, lying there, and doing that zombie scroll on your phone in bed. We all know that universal struggle. But the phone exposes your eyes to light wavelengths that totally confuse your brain, and lingering in bed does absolutely nothing for your energy. The high-performance protocol: immediate morning sunlight in your eyes within the first hour of waking, alongside a large glass of water. That sunlight immediately and decisively sets your circadian clock to fight off persistent fatigue. What's really fascinating here is how these rapid-fire wake-up fixes target the actual biology of our morning misery. Take morning headaches, for example. Even mild systemic dehydration reduces your cerebral spinal fluid volume just enough to cause physical traction on the pain-sensitive structures around your brain. By simply drinking a large glass of water right away, you can resolve a true dehydration headache in just 20 to 30 minutes. Next, we have to look at our caffeine timing. Sure, it masks tiredness, but it absolutely ruins deep sleep because it has a 6-hour half-life. Limiting it to before midday stops that endless cycle of exhaustion. And if you wake up with puffy eye bags from sodium or fluid retention, applying a cold compress, chilled spoons, or even chilled green tea bags physically constricts those dilated blood vessels for an instant reduction in puffiness. Section 2, the high-performance bathroom. We're optimizing oral care, skin, and scalp. So it's 7:15 a.m., and it's time to tackle the visible and olfactory friction we face when we look in the mirror. Let's talk about bad breath. The vast majority of bad breath actually doesn't come from your stomach. It comes from volatile sulfur compounds. These are produced by bacteria living right in your mouth, between teeth, beneath the gum line, and crucially on the back of the tongue. Regular brushing only addresses the visible front surfaces, completely missing these compounds. This is exactly why diligent brushers still experience unexplained bad breath. So here's your rapid-fire, highly efficient sequence for peak oral health. Step 1, scrape your tongue for just 15 seconds in the morning. This removes a more massive bacterial mass than brushing ever could. Step 2, brush with a fluoride or hydroxyapatite toothpaste. Step 3, floss daily to remove the hidden bacterial film that your toothbrush physically cannot reach. And as a quick bonus throughout the day, chewing sugar-free xylitol gum or eating some cheese at the end of a meal can boost your saliva production that neutralizes acid and actually stops the Streptococcus mutans bacteria from causing cavities. And this brilliantly illustrates how the issues we see in the mirror are rarely just surface problems. They're biological reactions that we can cleanly fix. Dandruff isn't just dry skin, it's an inflammatory response to a yeast called Malassezia globosa. The high-performance fix? Use an antifungal shampoo and actually leave it on for several minutes. What about acne? It's driven by overactive sebum, which is often stimulated by the IGF-1 hormone from dairy or inflammation from seed oils. Cutting dairy and swapping to olive oil while eating zinc-rich foods tackles the actual root cause. And hair thinning is often the result of hair follicles prematurely entering the telogen shedding phase due to stress or low iron. Reversing it means massaging the scalp with rosemary oil, which has shown massive efficacy, and getting your ferritin and protein levels checked. Moving on to Section 3, fueling for high performance. These are your breakfast hacks for digestion, immunity, and sustained energy. It's now 7:30 a.m., we are moving into the kitchen, and breakfast is our absolute first major opportunity to build a resilient energy pipeline for the entire day. We really have to talk about digestion mechanics here because the way most of us eat is literally a recipe for chronic bloating. The low-performance habit is inhaling food fast in a matter of minutes. When you do this, your gut is forced to deal with large volumes of swallowed air and poorly chewed chunks it simply wasn't designed to process. The high-performance approach is chewing slowly and drinking water instead of carbonated soda, completely removing that massive volume of gas from your digestive tract. By adding just a few simple ingredients to your breakfast, you can structurally upgrade your entire day. 1 tablespoon of ground flax or chia seeds adds soluble and insoluble fiber that literally triggers the stretch receptors in your colon to fix constipation. Hitting protein at every meal flattens out those wild blood glucose curves that cause midday headaches, plus it provides the structural keratin your hair desperately needs. Foods like eggs, greens, and nuts provide the zinc and omega-3s essential for clear skin. Adding a fermented food like yogurt or kefir displaces bad gut bacteria, which is absolutely huge considering around 70% of your immune cells live right there in your gut. Finally, if you suffer from acid reflux, diluted apple cider vinegar before eating can be a total game changer for the specific subset of people whose reflux is actually driven by low stomach acid, failing to trigger the esophageal sphincter to close. Now, before we leave the kitchen, we have to look at our drinks. Rapid weight gain is almost always traceable, and liquid calories are the absolute biggest hidden trap. Coffee loaded with syrups and milk, juices, sodas, and evening alcohol can collectively dump 800 to 1,500 calories into your day without ever registering as food in your brain, meaning they don't give you any satiety signals. Eliminating these hidden liquid calories is arguably the single highest yield change you can make for your body composition. All right, section 4, morning movement and posture. Undoing the damage of modern sitting. We step into the 8 a.m. hour. Now we need to address the physical, structural damage we absolutely must reverse before we sit at a desk all day. So the crucial point is 50 pounds. That staggering number is the effective load your cervical spine has to handle when you're looking down at your phone at a 45-degree angle. Think about the physics going on here. Your head normally weighs about 10 to 12 pounds when it's stacked correctly. But at just a 15-degree forward tilt, that load doubles. At 45 degrees, it hits that 50-pound mark. This heavy load completely flattens your natural cervical curve, leading to intense neck pain, tight upper troughs, and tension headaches. In fact, tension in these exact muscles, along with jaw clenching at night, are massively under-recognized causes of morning headaches. The beautiful thing is, these fixes take absolutely zero extra time out of your day. Just hold your phone closer to eye level. Do simple chin tucks throughout the day to re-engage those deep neck flexors, and use doorway pec stretches to open up the chronically shortened muscles in the front of your shoulders. As for your lower body, well, lower back pain is rarely a sudden structural injury from lifting a heavy box. Instead, it's the failure of a lower back left totally isolated because years of chronic sitting literally took your other muscles offline. Prolonged sitting chronically shortens your hip flexors, weakens your gluteal muscles so they just stop bearing the load, and erodes your deep core stability. Our morning repair involves activating these offline structures. For your hip flexors, do the couch stretch. For your weakened glutes, hip thrusts and glute bridges will wake them right up. And for your deep core, movements like dead bugs, bird dogs, and side planks will restore your stability. Finally, section 5, protecting your energy pipeline. Daily habits for 24/7 optimization. As we wrap up the explainer and head out the door for the day, we need to review the all-day lifestyle habits that protect the high-performance state we just built. You see, an optimized immune system and endless energy isn't just luck. It's the precise biological output of these exact daily habits. We call it your all-day armor. Walk around 8,000 steps daily. This not only burns calories, but triggers the gastrocolic reflex to keep your digestion moving and prevent constipation. Sleep 7 to 8 hours consistently. Controlled studies show sleeping fewer than 6 hours makes you roughly 4 times more likely to catch a cold. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before lying down. You need gravity to keep your stomach contents clear of the esophageal sphincter to prevent acid reflux. Manage your chronic stress, because elevated cortisol directly drives abdominal fat, suppresses your immune system, and triggers hair shedding. And finally, check those micronutrients. Deficiencies in iron, vitamin D, B12, and magnesium are the true culprits behind most persistent fatigue and tension headaches. We've covered a ton of ground today, turning fragmented health fixes into a powerful, streamlined routine. So here is my challenge to you. Which 5 minutes of this routine will you reclaim tomorrow morning? Choose just one